Hello and welcome back to Bella Star Astrology. I'm your host and astrologer, Stella, and we're here to go over the August 2024 transits as well as the horoscope for your sign. We'll begin with the overall overview, and this month is going to be very interesting. Lots of new energy when it comes to what we're trying to do in the world, as well as maybe getting some clarification about what our thoughts are throughout this journey. This month brings really impactful beginning with August 4th. Venus enters Virgo, Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo, and the new moon is present in Leo. So, what we're seeing here is that on a personal level, we're going to have a lot of these personal planets impact us. Seeing as Venus will be in Virgo, there'll be a lot more love, a lot more interesting times when it comes to what we're trying to accomplish, maybe some luck when it comes to our work life, our pets, as well as some interesting information coming to us from the Mercury retrograde. Maybe some battles you've been having internally to be able to go over them again, over the plans again, to see if they are right for you. And that new moon in Leo highlights how we are the stars, right? We're the ones who have to put our best foot forward. And if we hold ourselves back, even in retrograde, we might not get the results that we're hoping for. So always remember that that new moon in Leo is going to be connecting you maybe to a new plan you have to set out, maybe to some goals you have to set. Now, don't forget, of course, that the month moves on, and on the 14th of August, Mercury enters Leo in retrograde, and on August 19th, there'll be a full moon in Aquarius. Now, this is sort of giving the energy of the battle between your individual self as well as your external, what you've been trying to accomplish. So that full moon energy is just going to bring an end to maybe some of the hesitation you've had around the goals that you've been trying to make, or some of the friendships that are coming into your life. They might be better than the ones you've had before, or you might be looking towards new ways to connect with some of the goals and long-term dreams you've had, as well as that Mercury entering Leo in retrograde. We move from this information overload of Mercury in Virgo to sort of this idea that our minds are very much tied to our self-esteem. So maybe you're going to go out there and you'll be a little bit hesitant because of the fact that it's in retrograde, but remember to reinforce your self-esteem, remember to stay positive, and to look for ways for yourselves and for others to be pulled up. Look for ways to help everyone around you and to have some fun, of course. Then on August 22nd, the sun will enter Virgo. And that is the best time of the month to deep clean, to declutter, to look for new ways to help others, to serve. If you are not already a volunteer, maybe look for things to volunteer with. Also, purging, getting rid of some of the old stuff you have, while also helping others, of course. So look for ways that you can maybe give to the goodwill or to your local organizations, and maybe just not in terms of service. It could also be related to your work as well. I'll be highlighting some, efforts you've been making or efforts you need to make in the future in order to be more present or more supportive of your work and your teams. Then on August 28th, Mercury goes direct in Leo. And we're finally out of this Mercury retrograde buzz that's been going on. We've been contemplating how we give. We've been contemplating our esteem and how we hold ourselves, what things we consider to be good or fun, the things that we value. And now Mercury finally goes retrograde in Leo, bringing back that energy from earlier in the summer when Mercury was in Leo. And you sort of had more energy, more light, more fun. Go with the flow with this and definitely communicate with people about what the other things that you like to do, the hobbies that you have, maybe the ventures that you'd like to go into, whether that's work or not, or whether you can make something that's your, just a hobby into something that you can take further, right? Then on August 29th, Venus finally enters Libra, and we just see ourselves more sort of in this balanced area of our lives when it comes to love. Remember not to get too carried away and to really look at people, judge people that are coming into your life, especially your love life. For those of you who it does hit impact in their love life, make sure that you vet people, because at the end of the day, that Libra energy can get really carried away because we want to see the best in people. But at the end of the day, we have to go to the nature of Libra, which is to judge and to measure and to see the good and the bad, and maybe to accept it, but maybe to not invite it into your life if it's not something that you want. So good luck this month. And now let's go to the forecast for the individual signs. And hello, Scorpio. This is your astrology for August 2024. Um, and as we know, this is all about your friendships this month. What do they mean to you? How do you invest time in them? Who do you bring into your life? Most importantly, we have the transits that are just screaming at us to really make some decisions about our career. So we begin on August 4th when Venus enters Virgo. This is just a really good blessing and time for you to maybe make new friends, find new friends, meet people that are, going to bless you in the future, all with the caveat of Mercury retrograde on the same day. So be careful who you trust. Be careful who you bring into your life, as you always are, Scorpio. You are a very calculated person. So, when it comes to your friendships, Virgo's all about reaping what you sow. You really like to have people around you who can really support you in thriving or being the best version of yourself. And of course, that comes with a lot of responsibility on that person, but also encompasses you as well. So maybe you're going to have this retrograde to think about what you offer as a friend. What do you offer in your friendships or even in your dreams? Like, are you actually accomplishing what you want to do, or are you stuck in a position where you are just not attaining what you want because you're not actually doing anything about it, right? We want to be doing things. We want to be active this month. And with this Mercury retrograde, remember also to really check if you're going into any contracts with friends or any sort of, leveling up your business or your, hobbies and things like that. Make sure that you're always checking, what you're signing, always checking if there's anything missing, if there's anything that you need to ask for. And of course, we move as well with this new moon in Leo. Maybe there's a connection between the people that you choose to be around you, as well as the way that you are living your life and you're standing in the world, right? So, all of this to say that there may be a connection between the new friends that you make and how they're going to impact you. There'll be new beginnings when it comes to your career as well. There might be some things that you're maybe get a raise or get a new job throughout this, or even a promotion throughout this time. Maybe you set the goal to actually find a new job. And that'll be something that you venture into throughout this month, right? Then, of course, we have on August 14th, Mercury going retrograde, entering Leo. This is just such a really good time for you to evaluate how your friendships, right? It's been in Virgo, it's entering Leo now, how those things have impacted your standing in the world. Are the people around you really supporting you? And of course, are the things, the actions you're taking, the communication style. Be careful how you speak to your bosses. Be careful how you speak to your friends. Be careful how you come across to people, because it might be misconstrued. And it might take until the Mercury goes direct in Leo later on this month for you to really get your act together and get on a better path. So, like I always say, be cautious with Mercury in retrograde, with your communication, with your electronics, with what emails you send, etc. Double check your emails, triple check your emails, and don't, right off the hatchet when you're like trying to communicate a frustration you have and things like that. Maybe it's a good time to take a pause, walk away, take a walk before you sort of dive into some of the things that you maybe want to say, but maybe that Mercury retrograde is sort of like forcing your hand, right? Cool off, so to speak. Especially as you have the full moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius being in your fourth house might mean that you're moving. It might mean that there is some changes when it comes to your home, some changes when it comes to your relationships, your close relationships with your family. There might be some new people that you've met that have made you shift your perspective on where you want to live. Or there might be an opportunity for you to move. And now this is the time that you're actually able to do so. So, whatever the case may be, just make sure that throughout all of this, especially as Mercury is in retrograde, that you're just taking your time to, or rather that it was just in retrograde, you're still feeling its effects, that you're still taking your time to really understand the moves that are happening around you. Then, as we go on, the sun enters Virgo. And this is such a good time for any introspection about your friendships to really end, because now the sun is giving you vitality. You're going to be social, be the social butterfly you can be. I know most Scorpios might consider themselves introverts or plotters or really overthinkers. Sun in Virgo is going to give you the vitality to really reach out. Maybe you're looking for a new career. Maybe you're looking for a new job. Maybe it's time for you to expand yourself. Maybe it's time for you to socialize within, your workspace or within your friendships, expand yourself. Go ahead and take advantage of the opportunities the sun in Virgo is going to give you on August 22nd. Then on August 28th, Mercury goes direct in Leo. This is such a good time. Finally, all of these holdbacks, all of these things that have been going on, all of this craziness comes to an end. Some of you might be, working on a business, or some of you might, are about to have a child or a grandchild. Like those types of energies of shifting your standing in the world, shifting who you are. It's not just job and career, but it could also be you're standing as a mother, you're standing as a person who is related to a daughter, like you're a grandma, things like that. But also in your career, this is just an ease on the tension. Maybe you've been working on something all month long, and now is the time you can finally breathe. It's finally over. All of the things that you've been working on are finally done, and you're just able to move on with your life, right? Then, of course, Mercury finally goes direct in Leo. These times, these times with Mercury going direct in Leo have actually been so difficult, so much harder than you expected. But at the end of the day, like now that it's going direct, it's just very helpful to have some clarity, right? Um, and be able to do more with yourself and be able to have more from that. So just take advantage of this time. Take advantage of all of the moments you're having. And then, of course, Venus enters Libra. This is, like I said, a good time. This is all for a good time. This is all for the best time you can possibly have. Venus entering Libra is going to give some life to maybe a vacation you've been trying to plan, maybe a trip you've been trying to go on. Maybe you finally are able to escape and do something new. Take advantage of this Venus in the 12th house. Take a break from all of the mundane life, and maybe take an introspective break. You've been going through so much in your friendships, in your family, in your career. This is a time for you to just take a break, disconnect, and enjoy maybe a 3-day weekend on a trip, or maybe a full day weekend on a trip. And hopefully, that energy of the full moon and the Mercury going direct and the new moon in the 10th and 4th house are all something that really supports you being able to disconnect and say you did a great job throughout this month, holding down the fort, right? Holding yourself to a higher standard, doing the best that you can. And once you've done that, once you've done all this work, you'll be able to enjoy and luxuriate and maybe go get a massage. Go and enjoy your family. Go and enjoy the activities that make you happy. Good luck to you, Scorpios, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. All right, that's a wrap on today's personal reading for your sign. Thank you so much for listening, liking, and subscribing. If you would like your own personal reading, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm taking clients now for their reading, as well as any questions that you might have about your love life, synastry readings, etc. So thank you so much for listening, liking, and subscribing. I hope you have a wonderful month of August.